Thank you to Ms. Cosma and the band for that wonderful performance. Please welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Angela Weber.
Sorry about that. Mr. Curran, Miss Ward, teachers, parents, girls and boys. How good is this? Only 6 days to go to the summer holidays. And as always at this time of year, I think how lucky we are to live near the beach. Recently on television, I saw a woman saying that she believes the state infant and primary schools are the heart of our community. I totally agree with her, because the thing is, that means our community begins with all of you. It's because of all of you children that so many of us parents have become friends, not just with each other, but also with the staff at the school. It's because of you that when we go for a walk along Coogee Beach on the weekend, we might bump into 3 or 4 families that we know, and maybe another couple having a picnic or walking a dog. I think this is special. I love that in the middle of a big bustling city like Sydney, there are still places like Coogee that feel like a village. And I really value the fact that we have friends keeping an eye out for our children. Now, girls and boys, I know it might be a bit creepy to think that you're being watched all the time, but believe me, it reassures us parents. In fact, today, for the very first time, I'm publicly revealing the existence of a clandestine local spy agency. You might have seen the film Spy Kids. Well, I'm talking about the Spy Mums. The secret Coogee undercover mothers, also known as scum. The Coogee Spy Mums are a crack team of highly specialised, very glamorous secret agents and former Bond girls. And we exchange information daily on the whereabouts and well-being of Coogee school students. We don't need to use global positioning devices. From Malabar to Clovelly, mums have got the municipality covered. All our secret intelligence is reported, analysed and dispersed at the school gate. For instance, spy mums know which students went to the beach yesterday and where they swam. We know exactly the number of skateboarders who had a go at leaping the 7 steps and which ones wound up in emergency. We know which children attended what films and who got the combo deals at the Randwick Ritz. And spookily perhaps, because we've all been in the same queue at the Woolworths Metro, we also know what everybody else is having for dinner. To be a Coogee spy mum requires years of intense training in espionage skills. You must be able to pull together brilliant disguises at 5 minutes' notice, in particular at book week, year after year after year. You must be able to crack secret codes, even the challenging ones, like deciphering your 11-year-old's text messages. You must be able to duplicate vital information for school projects, and you must have foolproof techniques to locate priceless missing treasures, like lost lunchboxes and hats. And my tip is, when all else fails, ask Nick the cleaner. That man knows everything. And very importantly, to be a Coogee spy mum, you must be able to memorise number plates and recognise car models of other key operatives for surveillance purposes. For instance, I was confused briefly when the Murphys changed from the powder blue Mercedes to the black 4-wheel drive. For several weeks I wasn't sure who the mystery woman with the dark glasses was who kept waving to me on Coogee Bay Road. But seriously, spies or no spies, Coogee School is special. We're very lucky. Ours is a busy school. There's always something happening. We've had language courses introduced, visit by dance troupes, school band performances, we just heard one fabulous one then, the Book Week Parade, the Fashion Parade, Leadership Days, Grandparents' Days, the camps, the fabulous Mendel's Anything concerts, the school concert, the wonderful big song. The list of activities goes on and on. And for a school to be this full of activity, there's a lot of people working overtime, and they are. Teachers, students, office staff, and parents alike. And they're working hard for one reason: to create an environment for the best possible education in lots of different ways, in terms of opportunity, resources, and healthy food. I'd like to acknowledge a couple of people who've made an enormous contribution to the life of our school. I'm talking about the owners of white Subaru station wagon number plate SAO994 and green Tarago people mover SKW583, Rosie Kingsford and Linda Sutcliffe. Both Linda and Rosie have 3 children. They have paid jobs too, yet for a combined total of 21 years, they've given generously of their time and energy for the sole reason of enriching our school through the P&C. Rosie and Linda, you have been amazing, and we all thank you. There's something else that I think is special about Coogee School, and I want to share a personal story with you today. Many years ago now, when Stuart and I first moved to this area, we didn't really know very many people here, and back then we didn't have children either. One night we happened to be watching the documentary about Troy Lovegrove, a little boy who was then suffering from HIV and AIDS. At that time it was a much misunderstood illness, and Troy's dad Vince had tried unsuccessfully to get him into a number of schools in the eastern suburbs. Finally, he applied to Coogee School. A meeting was called and Vince addressed the group about the illness, and I'm sure there's people here who remember that night. At the end of the speech, a number of hands were raised to ask questions, and he feared the worst. But the first question that came from a Coogee family was, how can we help this family? I remember that night that when the program ended, Stuart and I turned to each other and agreed that if ever we did have children, this was the school we wanted them to come to. Well, we did wind up having children, 2 in fact, and they both come to Coogee, and we haven't been disappointed. Over the past 9 years, we've witnessed firsthand the care and the support from Coogee staff and the Coogee parent community. It's been wonderful. Next week though, some of our community is moving on, and we're sorry to lose you, Year 6, and we wish you well during the next exciting stage of your schooling. But for every member of the Henderson, Goddard, Merkin, Simpson, Hackney, Kelly, Phillips, Murphy, Espinosa, Keogh, Richardson family, and indeed every other Year 6 family that is leaving the school forever, we are sad to see you go. But I believe we can feel hopeful for the future of our community, knowing that as we speak, another member of the Todd family is packing his little backpack in readiness to begin. To everybody at Coogee School, I wish you all a happy Christmas and a healthy and fabulous 2005.
Thank you, Miss Angela Wells. Mr. Carr will now present his principal's report.